Look at that. Chicken of the woods. That's coming home to eat. This is my favorite mushroom by far. Quick vlog today. Just gonna go over to a couple of public land spots that are close to my house that I want to put some cameras out on. Just places I can get to real quick if I'm in a time crunch or something like that. Talked to Andy May last night on the show, and he really got my wheels turning. And if you haven't listened to that one, it's probably my favorite episode so far. So I'll put it up here on the top somewhere. You can click on that and go over there and watch that in its entirety. Anyway, Andy mentioned finding spots close to your house to be more efficient, and I love doing that. But there are a few places that I know of that I don't spend any time in, and I'm just going to go and throw a couple cameras on them in case I am struggling this year to find deer. I can have a spot close where I can buzz in and check a camera, see what's going on in that area, maybe hunt it. Or I got a bunch of people coming to hunt with me this year in Indiana. Maybe a good place to send them. This spot is actually right next to the road, but you have to walk down this human trail for a while to get into it because it's so thick by the road. You really can't penetrate it without busting all the deer out. Across the road is some crop fields and stuff that I think they kind of head out to after dark, but I haven't really been in this particular piece of public this year, so I don't know what the acorn scenario is yet. Gonna find that out today, and then gonna put a trail camera over a scrape that, as long as it still looks like it's being used, I'm probably gonna throw a camera up over that to monitor it. So gosh, the spiders are everywhere in here. Usually don't bother me, all the spider webs, but holy cow. So these are some little group of white oaks that are right outside of this real thick bedding area you can see back in here. And I just wanted to come in here and check these and see what the situation was on them. Not seeing a bunch of them on the ground. Oh, squirrels. It's a good sign that there's some acorns in here. But I have a feeling that we got some up high. I forgot my binoculars, of course, but I'm going to kind of circle around this little pocket of oaks in here and just take a look at them, see what's going on. There's another one right there I got to check. So this is a really good area to hop into. It takes you 10 minutes to get in here. Decent fresh rub. I think I may put my camera back in here. I'm gonna go look at that one last oak and then call it good enough. The bedding, I'm very familiar with this spot. The bedding's up in there. Deer making their way out here at night to feed. Back in here is big hardwood open ridges that they definitely would be in at night too, feeding on acorns and whatever else they eat up there. But that's a good sign. There's some pretty good ticks. That's about chest high right there, but the majority is about thigh high. So could be a good one. So that rub that I saw was back in there about 100 yards. Bedding is probably about 100 yards up that way in that thicket up there. You can see some of the white oaks here and there. I honestly can't see up there high enough to see if they haven't fallen yet. Not a lot of sign on the ground, but the trails are here. That rub's here. I think it's worth putting a camera on. I'm actually going to make a mock scrape in here in hopes that the deer start using it a little bit. I think I'm going to make it under. They really like these beech trees. You can see there's a beech tree right there, and the deer really like rubbing underneath here. So this is a really good spot for a mock scrape that I don't have to really do much to, just get it going with some juices. And then I think I'm gonna put my camera on that tree right there in hopes to catch them coming down these trails and hitting this scrape or whatever else they're doing in here, going to eat acorns. All right. Got the camera up. It's about 8 feet off the ground. Got a couple trails coming out. They're gonna hit that mock scrape and hit that. And as I'm putting all this stuff up, I hear some oaks falling back in there on these white oaks. So it's a good spot. Might be a good place to come kill a doe too. Something else I'm gonna do here is make sure I got all this marked on my map. And then put a track on it. So if someone wants to come in here and hunt, it's not me, I can kind of send them that track and get them in the right area at least. This is a scrape that I've had marked for years on here that they like to use a lot, but it's just where a bunch of stuff comes together. The ridges that come down to this low area, that bedding area back there, those trails that come out of it all kind of meet right here, and that's where the scrape is. I think it's mostly at night though, because you know, we're 250 yards probably from that bedding area, and then we're a long way from the hills back in there. It'd be worth putting a camera over it if I was real curious, but I like that area in there as well. I think most of the big deer are going to be up in there. And I think the hills back in here, it's kind of open. They get a lot of pressure from people hunting public and then from the private land too. So heading into spot number 2, and then I'll have to go home. Got to be home in like 30 minutes. So never been over here. There's actually a private cornfield that butts up to the public. So just gonna take a glance at that and see what it looks like. Running into some good historical rubs already. All right, the second spot, it's kind of a bust. So that happens, just no sign at all. Not really any signs of hunters either, just wasn't what I was thinking of here. That's fine though. Got one spot checked off that I really like, and potentially, I don't know, maybe I'll come and check this late season next year and be able to decipher it down a little bit more, but I gotta get going back to the house. Me and Maddie are gonna go watch a comedy show tonight in Bloomington, Shane Gillis. So, hope you guys enjoyed this quick little vlog about me scouting. I'll try to do one tomorrow again, and the next day, the next day, the next day. So subscribe and follow along. It's gonna be tons of content. It's gonna be awesome.